Hey everybody, this is Inform the Confused. I'm Alan,
And I'm Bobby.
and we are back with more RWBY. Today it is Volume 3, Chapter 6, Fall.
Is that like autumn?
It's the word fall.
Okay. I think it has something to do with autumn.
Last time we had a fight. The villains found Penny's blueprints.
And made
And-
note that they were going to mess with them.
Yep, and you think we had a fake out, a red herring with Pyrrha going up in the elevator, and it's actually going to turn out to be like Ruby or Blake or somebody that Osmond's
You
looking
said
for.
you thought
Yep.
she was
Yeah.
listening at the door.
Yeah, I think that whole scene is just a mix up. I don't think.
Fake out.
Fake
Yeah.
out, yeah. All right, well, let's see.
Go for it, hit
see
play.
if you are in fact right or not.
Yeah, okay, so what's her name?
Which one?
Her.
Well, it comes
Pyrrha.
as no
Pyrrha.
surprise that they've chosen you to move on to the final round of the tournament.
That's what it's for.
Performance has been
Told you.
exemplary.
Because she
Thank you,
falls
Mr.
off
Ozpin, but
in the intro.
I would never have made it this far without my team.
And so does John, I think.
Personally, I think it's the other way around.
All four of Juniper fall off.
Crow just calls it out.
I don't believe we've been introduced.
Name's Crow.
Crow is a trusted colleague of mine.
Professor, if you don't mind me asking, why have you called me here?
Please, take a seat. What is your favorite fairy tale?
I'm sorry.
Fairy tales. Stories from your childhood. Surely you must remember some of them.
Well, there's the tale of the two brothers, the shallow sea, the girl in the tower.
What about the story of the seasons?
Oh, of course. A callous old man who refuses to leave his home is visited by 4 traveling sisters. The first understands his reclusive nature and
Weiss.
urges him to use his time in solitude to reflect and meditate. The second brings him fruits and flowers, tending to his crops and revitalizing his
Yang.
garden. The third warms the man's heart, convincing him to step outside and embrace the world around him.
Ruby?
And the fourth and final sister begs him to look at all that he has and be thankful.
Blake.
In return for their kindness, the man grants the maidens incredible powers so that they may continue to help others all over the world.
Kill the Batman.
They graciously accept and promise to share their gifts with the people of Remnant until the end of days. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. The 4 maidens. My mother loves that story.
Would you believe me if I told you that one's been around since I was a boy?
You're not that old, Professor.
Well, would you believe me if I told you it was true?
I beg your
There
pardon?
is. Oh, don't tell me.
What if I were to tell you that there were 4 maidens existing in this world that could wield such tremendous power without dust?
You mean like a semblance?
Like magic.
I...
Yeah, first time hearing it's pretty crazy.
You're serious.
Do I look like I'm joking?
She's gonna be a bodyguard
No.
for the Guardian.
Why? Why are you telling me this?
We are telling you, Pyrrhanikos, because we believe that you are next in line to receive the Fall Maiden's powers.
We?
Sorry we're late.
Wait. What is this? Who are you?
You know,
Is Cinder the Summer?
we're still the same teachers and headmasters you met when you arrived at Beacon.
Except we've got a little part-time job.
We are the protectors of this world.
And we need your help.
Doot 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 doot. You've
That's
literally
some
been
August
training.
company.
You've
Where
literally
are
been
we
training to be the
going?
best. Here
The
you are
vault.
becoming the best,
Under the school.
and you're nervous.
Vault under this.
I mean, she was literally just told she's going to have supernatural powers that she believed came from a fanciful story. So it's just kind of a like, wait, what now?
I'm sure you must have questions.
Maybe one or two. I still don't understand. You said I was next in line to receive the Maiden's power. What do you mean by that?
The maidens have existed for thousands of years, but much like in nature, the seasons change. No two summers are alike. When a maiden dies, her power leaves her body and seeks out a new host, ensuring that the seasons are never lost and that no individual can hold on to the power forever.
So, how does the power choose?
Through a series of stupid and convoluted rules.
Crow.
Hey, don't get mad because I'm right.
At first, the only thing that was certain was that the powers were specifically passed on to young women. But as time went on, it was discovered that the selection process was much more intimate.
Intimate?
As we understand it now, when a maiden dies, the one who is in her final thoughts is the first candidate to inherit her power.
Unless it's a dude or some old hag. Then the power goes to someone random. Our jobs get a lot harder.
Why tell me all of this now? Why not wait until I've graduated?
Honestly, we've run out of time. I don't know if you've noticed, but things are getting a lot scarier out in the world. Tensions are high. The Grim are growing stronger, more prevalent. And it's not gonna be much longer before this peace we've all been enjoying so much goes out the window.
You're not talking about war.
Not a war between nations.
We can fill you in on the details once we know you're with us. For now, all you need to know is that one of the maidens was attacked. And for the first time in history, part of her power was stolen.
Huh.
Is that
Say it.
The current
There it
Fall
is.
Maiden, Amber.
she's still alive?
For now. We're using state-of-the-art Atlas technology to keep her stable. But there is a lot about this situation that is...
Are they gonna try to
unprecedented.
manipulate it
What do
where
you mean?
they wake her up?
Well, we don't know what will happen when she passes.
Won't her power just transfer to the next host?
Look who's been listening. She is smart.
Under normal circumstances, yes. But this is a delicate situation. It's not uncommon for the last thoughts of the slain to be of their attacker. And to make matters worse, no one's ever seen the power split like this before. For all we know, it will seek out its other half.
Her assailant.
And that would not bode well for any of us.
If all of this is true, why keep it secret? If this girl is so important, if we're truly on the brink of war, why not tell everyone?
From what we understand, it used to be common knowledge.
Excuse me?
How do you think legends and fairy tales get started? Even the craziest ones come from somewhere.
Our group was founded in order to protect both mankind and the maidens. Those hungry for power hunted them with the hope of inheriting their strength.
And as you can imagine, the ones that succeeded weren't exactly the kind of people you'd want to have unimaginable power.
And so this brotherhood chose to remove the maidens from the public eye, allowing their existence to fade away into legend.
The things we're telling you go against hundreds of years of human history. Religion.
No one would want to believe us. It'd cause an uproar.
It would cause panic. And we all know what that would bring clawing to our kingdom's walls. Which is why we would like to...
I'll do it. If you believe this will help humanity, then I will become your fall maiden.
They're like, oh, that was easy.
That's what you wanted.
Actually, we
Isn't it?
wanted you
It
to
is,
help us
but I'm
convince
afraid it's not
Ruby.
that simple. Given Amber's condition, you won't be able to inherit her power naturally. However, General Ironwood believes he has a solution.
For the past few years, Atlas has been studying aura from a more scientific standpoint. How it works, what it's made of, how it can be used. We've made significant strides, and we believe we found a way to capture it.
Capture it and cram it into something else. Or in your case,
That's
Classified.
wrong.
The feeling is mutual. But desperate times call for desperate measures.
And these are indeed desperate times. We can't transfer Amber's power to you, but we can give you what those powers are bound to.
Her aura.
Her life will become intertwined with yours. The question is,
what's that gonna do to you?
And what's her aura's semblance?
Purist
you have an important
polarity.
decision
No,
before you resolve those.
Autumn's.
They
No
didn't say.
guarantee
Amber's,
that
we
that's
don't know.
Yeah.
And there's no telling if you will be the same person if it does. I advise you to take time to think on this matter. But understand that before the Vital Festival is over, we will need your answer. The assailant that attacked the Fall Maiden has made their first move. And there's no telling when their next move will be.
Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the one-on-one finals! Barney, why don't you explain the rules?
It's quite simple, Peter. Instead of a bracket system, each round of the finals will be randomly determined immediately before the match takes place.
Much like any good hunt, there will be 0 time to prepare.
Yes. Now let's see who our first match will be.
Yang Xiaolong and Mercury Black. Would all other combatants please leave the stage?
You better not go easy on me.
You wish.
Three, 2, 1, fight!
Hunter versus the Hitler.
Turn around. Oh shit! Did she just break his aura?
Yeah, that
Yup,
whoosh
that
effect,
was an aura
that's
break.
breaking his aura.
And then hit him hard.
Well, she
Afterwards.
broke the aura on the hit, I believe.
And then,
It was
and then
during the
there's-
combo. There was one
Yeah.
hit after the aura broke.
Way to go, Yang. Better luck next time.
There's not going to be a next time, Blondie.
Now that was a gun blast directly to his leg.
Broke his leg.
Right to the knee.
My word!
Cut the cameras.
The entire arena. That's why he did it. It was a self-sacrifice. That way the entire arena gets angry and it attracts them all.
Just watch.
That's what you get, you little... Huh?
Yang Xiaolong, stand down!
What? Why?
Why'd she do that? Why'd she attack
What?
me?
It's an illusion. I didn't see this coming at all.
Yep. And there we have it. Episode 6, Fall.
Wow.
Hell of a whopper at the end there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's well, so yeah, okay, that's Mercury's illusion. Or his that's his semblance, is he can create in your head illusions. He tricks your psyche.
So if that's the case, I'm assuming he's got a heck of a range on it because he would have done it from
Contact.
on the other side. Well, no, because if he's also responsible for the Yatsuhashi thing, that meant he did it with no line of sight because he was in the woods on the other side of the arena. Because that's where he was when that happened.
Remember the last
That's
time
a
we saw
hell.
an
That's a hell of a
illusion like
range.
that.
That's some pretty impressive range on that semblance.
I mean, some semblances are that potent
Oh,
and
yeah.
powerful.
Unless
There are
that's
some
not
that are
his
powerful.
semblance. What's Cinder's semblance?
Cinders.
Because
We don't know.
Cinderella dressed in yellow.
Well, we've seen her.
You haven't picked it out yet, and I don't feel that either
Well,
of us should comment.
we got there's a wrinkle in that. We've never been told what her semblance is. We've seen her do the fire thing and with the arrows and all that and black stuff. She's done a bunch of stuff.
And the magic sword she makes appear.
Yeah, and she makes the swords appear.
okay.
So, but we also had that bit at the end of the first bit where we talked about the maidens, where Osmond said that the person who took the power from the Fall Maiden has made their first move, and then we immediately cut to Cinder. The implication of that seems to be visually saying that was Cinder who did it.
Yeah.
In which case, if that is the case and it's not a red herring,
Well, villain's
Then-
gonna vil.
yeah, then that means is what she did her semblance? Is it part of these maiden powers, whatever they are? Is she even the one who did it, or again, because they did the one thing that looked like could have been you thought was a fake out,
Right.
And it didn't turn out to be a fake out, but now they're doing it here. So would they double fake out, not fake out, fake out?
I
No,
did
they
like
fake
that
out,
gets
or-
way too deep. They don't do
Yeah,
that.
so
I did like the imagery of the face overlay when Pyrrha is staring in at Autumn inside of the
case,
chamber,
yeah.
and you get her reflection on the glass overlaid on
Over Amber.
Autumn's or Amber's
Amber,
face. Yeah, I think that was a really clever bit of imagery there.
yeah. All right, well let's start at the beginning here.
Since we're going backwards.
We might as well start at the beginning. It's always a good place to start. We had the conversation between Osprey and Pyrrha,
Yep.
And Crow a little bit. Crow got a couple of jabs at her teammates. But,
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but
Let's be
Then
fair.
Osmond-
Crow is drunk. Crow's always drunk.
yeah. But then Osmond asks her what her favorite fairy tale is, and she lists off a few. She says the two brothers, the shallow sea, the girl in the tower, which I believe got cut off by our audio issue. Right? She names those, and then Osmond interrupts with the story of the seasons. Then we get the story of the four maidens.
And breaks it all down, and he reveals
The
to her that
wizard
it's
who
real.
gave the four young ladies magical superpowers.
I believe he phrases it as the old man gives
old
them
man.
their powers.
Yeah, the old man.
They don't use the W word.
They didn't call him a wizard. Well, he's an old man with supernatural powers. He's a wizard. He's a wizard. He's a sorcerer. He's a super being, whatever you want to call him. But the old man with powers gave some of his powers to the four girls. And then now we find out that these powers have been passed down through millennia, from person to person.
He comments that the story's been around since he was a kid.
It's the shopkeep. He's the old man.
Yeah, the shopkeep. There are all those theories, but shopkeep being the master of everything, that would line up. It would seem to line up with things. But so then he says he thinks Pyrrha is going to be the next maiden.
Yep. I was way off.
Which, and of course, and I want to take
the
a
way
minute.
he phrases it is a little odd.
And I do want to take a minute to clarify something here, because I know some people have an issue with this just because of terminology, and we've been kind of using the terminology going back and forth. The definition of what is magic in this world. Because up until this point, we've been using, or certainly you've been using, magic as a generic term for pretty much any of the superpower stuff they've been doing.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Any of the semblances, any of the aura, any of the
dust
dust
stuff,
usage,
it's all magical.
we've just been lumping it all into magic.
the thing
It's not really.
we don't get into, because I'm always waiting for this moment to get into the subject matter, is that in their world, they don't see it as magic, because dust and aura are tangible, measurable, physical things that are quantifiable in their universe.
Okay.
It's more like skill sets than magic.
The difference here is, like, if we would call an automobile magic, and Osmond just told her there's a car that will run forever without gas.
Got you.
That's the
I
difference.
mean, there were a couple of guys in Australia that were doing something. Never mind.
Yeah, no, the point here is, what he's referring to as magic is something that does not require dust or aura to do. It's self-sustaining on its own. It's an independent power source, completely unlike anything else. And they
To use
know
the
in the
Full
physical
Metal
world.
Alchemist, if using dust requires equivalent exchange, magic does not.
Yeah,
Got you.
yeah. This is like having your own infinite Philosopher's Stone. So, yeah, that is where the dividing line is. That is why this set of superpowers freaks them out.
Is
but
so much
the
more
others do not.
super than anything
Yeah.
they can all do.
These are abilities that violate even the rules of physics that exist in their world.
Is magic.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which is ultimately the definition of magic in the generic, is any technology sufficiently advanced that you
Yeah.
don't understand it.
It's
Or something
indistinguishable
here
from
that,
magic.
yeah, this is something that they don't
C.S.
understand.
Lewis.
Yeah. Anyways, so they have that conversation, and then they take her down into the vault,
Yep.
because there's a vault. And then,
Take her downstairs to the small damaged girl in the big medical bed computer thing.
yep, who we find out is now
Called it.
Autumn.
Well, and there
or
wasn't just
fall or-
one.
Well, yeah,
There were
'cause
two.
they
Well,
already
because-
said that they were going to be
Do the
putting
transfer,
one
yeah.
into the other.
Yeah, well, that was what I was leading into. When you first see the image, there's not just one bed.
There's
dun,
two.
dun, dun.
Then Glinda explains the rules, that it goes to young women, and then it's whoever's the last person that the dying maiden thinks of, unless it's not another young woman.
Honestly,
in which
I
case
like
it goes to
Crow's
random.
description better.
A series of stupid and convoluted rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more apt.
Well. I mean, that's a half meta statement of just calling out magic systems in general, I think.
Oh, it totally is, and
Yeah.
that's why I like it.
So, but then we have this unique situation where someone has somehow managed to steal half of the Amber's powers. So they're worried that either A, when she dies, the last person who was in her thoughts was whoever killed her, right? Or with the same effect, that the one half of the power will simply go to its other half, which will again be the person who killed her. Yeah. So the two halves will seek each other out. In either way, that the person who attacked her will be the one who gets the power, which they do not want. So they're going to try and use this Atlas tech to basically take Amber's soul, which is what the powers are attached to, and stick it in Pyrrha's body with her own soul.
Jam that soul in there.
I feel like in
All
all,
up
in
in
all
there.
of my experience watching people bind like that, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to mess her head up.
Yeah, it's...
They do have the little conversation about how when it was publicly known, a lot of dangerous people went seeking the power, and that's why they had to keep things quiet now.
Yep. And we also get I will just point out, because it's the first time we've gotten a mention of it, they mention this being that if they tell everybody this is in violation of thousands of years of world history and religion. We have never had religion mentioned in this show before. That is, I just wanted to point that out, that is in fact a thing that exists in this world.
And they
on
also
some level.
specify our group decided that we should keep this quiet.
They are the continuation of a group, goes back all the
The
way
board
back
of
in-
shadowy figures.
Yeah.
I think of it like a more nefarious Freemasons.
I'm missing the difference.
So Pyrrha kind of reluctantly initially agrees, but then when you find out that number one, it may not work, and number two, it might
Mess
turn
with
me-
your head.
It might be the equivalent of sending me through a transporter buffer with somebody else and sticking me together with them, or something like that. to use a
If
Star Trek
Scotty
analogy.
does it, we're all right.
Well, when Scotty did it, he was just in there by himself. He came out by himself. This is more like in Voyager when Tuvok and Neelix
But Scotty doesn't
get
know.
stuck.
And we've come full circle back to Ruby.
All right. So there's that. So we now have this whole. We now at least have some idea of what the hell is going on with the adults. Have been dancing around this mysterious thing and this whole thing going on. And there's clearly, we now know at least has to do with there are 4 women with incredible amounts of power who clearly somebody is coming after. Then we go back to the arena, and we get the Yang Mercury fight, which
Well,
obviously
first
they
we get the
fixed.
lineup of all of the members who have advanced to the final round.
Yep.
I don't know
and
how close you paid attention to that lineup, but they
There's-
definitely gave you the full lineup there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's.
I'm surprised John made it.
John wasn't there.
Somebody with a shield and chest
No.
plate is.
Pyrrha's there.
Pyrrha's there.
Because of the way
Pyrrha's the one out of their
Yeah,
team.
because of the way the
Only
elimination
one out
thing
of
works.
every team of
yeah, you
4
can't have more than
made
one
it.
person from a
Oh,
team
that's
in there.
right, that's
yeah.
right.
No, you have Yang, Sun, Pyrrha,
Sun was who you saw
Penny.
probably.
and I believe 4 randos that we haven't seen before to round it out.
Okay.
But for a total of 8. Which means, if I'm doing my math correctly, 8, 4, 2, 3 rounds, right? Semifinal, final.
That's 4 bouts, then that becomes 2 bouts, and then a final round. So quarterfinals, semifinals, finals.
Yeah, 3 rounds of fights. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we get, again, the Yang Mercury fight, and Mercury kicking her butt right up to the end, where she's just barely got a little bit of aura left. And then she comes around and pummels him back, pummels him down.
She makes good use of her particular
Her
semblance.
Yep. And then breaks his aura. It's the first time we've actually seen an aura break on screen.
Right.
Yeah, that weird effect where everything went shimmery and then shattered.
What the aura breaks look like will change as the seasons go by, as they kind of struggle to find how they want that to actually look.
It took a while to settle on the specific artwork.
Yeah, because eventually they come up with a thing where there's a difference between when the aura takes damage like if you just take a heavy hit, the aura will become visible briefly and kind of crackle or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when the aura actually full on breaks. So it gets kind of
We'll
confusing.
see that
but
more in
that's-
the next
yeah,
engine.
That's later on. That really happens in the later volumes. But anyways, yeah, so then we think the fight's over, and then you hear Mercury say, there's not going to be a next time, Blondie. Yang turns around, sees him come, throwing a kick at him,
And
hits
puts
him
a
in the
bullet
leg.
right in the leg.
Right in the leg. I think like right below the knee.
No, that
Or
was
right at the knee?
at the
Or
knee.
at the knee.
She
I
broke
thought
his
it was,
knee.
I thought it was
Yep.
femur.
Was it? Somewhere in that
It
area of
looked
his leg.
like it was right into the knee.
It doesn't matter where on the leg it was. That was powerful
was a
enough to break that
brutal
leg.
shot.
That was a leg break. That was a leg breaking shot. Which, by the way, do you remember what Ruby said to Yang right before the start of the fight?
Break a leg.
Break a leg. I love that. And we get that, he's like, why did she attack me? And we look up on the Jumbotron, and the thing the camera recorded and the thing that everybody else saw was Yang just walk up to him and hit him in the leg.
Just turned around. Took 2 steps, turned around, and then
And
finished it.
Boom. Right in the leg.
Made her look like a
And-
hardcore, cold villain.
Yep, and so she's like getting arrested, and everybody in the stands has just got this horrified look on their face,
Yep.
like, what the hell?
I thought they animated her disbelief of the situation
Her
very well.
confusion.
Well, yeah. All the facial expressions here, I think, were well done.
Props for the response time on all those robots. They were right on the ball to
For
get out
once.
there
Yeah.
and surround her.
And, yeah, and that's where that leaves us off, wondering what the fuck happened.
Next time on another
So,
exciting episode of Dragon. But no, wrong one.
No, God, no. Do not compare this. Do not compare my Ruby to Dragon Ball Z. Do not do that.
I mean, Yang yells a lot.
Yeah, but when Yang yells, it all takes place in one breath.
I was
though.
gonna say
That's-
when Yang powers up, her hair does get quite fiery.
True, but the power up is based
She
on how
goes
much.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but the power is based on how much damage she takes, not how loud she yells.
True.
I mean, you can make the same argument for Goku, but
All right, let's be honest. They level up based on how just raging mad they get. That is how that mechanic works. It's
and Yang
ridiculous.
powers up by getting angry and taking hits.
not she doesn't have to actually get angry.
True.
That is not required. She
Well-
tends to get angry, but it's not a requirement for her power to
I'll
work.
disagree with you in another volume.
I maintain. I will argue that point all a long day. I will die on that hill.
You know the quote I'm thinking of, though.
Well, simply because we've seen her use her semblance while she's
Yes.
not mad. But
I digress.
yeah, well, I do know what you're talking about, though. Yes. Yeah. So we've kind of hit the a turning point. We've actually started we've started figuring out on some of this behind the scenes stuff, and we've had this kind of oh shit moment with the heroes. They've kind of had their first what I call setback of some sort. Prior to this, it's been them just kind of beating villains and killing Grimm, and yay! And now it's one of us looks like they're not a murderer, but guilty of felony.
Brutal villain.
Guilty of felony assault at the least.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean,
No more competition for you.
that is the kind of stuff that you not only lose the tournament, not only get kicked out of school, but get thrown in prison for.
Right.
This is a big fucking deal.
At least jail for a month or so.
That's
I mean,
a felony.
assault is assault.
That's a felony, man. That is a felony. That's more than a year. That's prison. That's prison time. But yeah. So anything else? Any more comments, thoughts?
No.
On what we're leaving off?
It's gonna be a pain to jump from this episode and wait until. Next
And I will
recording.
say, when the fandom originally got to watch this was right before the hiatus. So there was 2 weeks. The fandom had to wait 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah,
After
just the
this
way they
happened.
release it, they release half the season in the fall and then half the season after winter break. Or
Yeah,
after
or Christmas. There's
break,
a Christmas.
I
There's a
should
week or
say.
two. It's going back and forth.
They take the holidays off.
Yeah, they take a holiday off.
Understandable.
Yeah. But yeah, so everybody had landed on this giant cliffhanger, and it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks off, then we'll come back with the answers.
Yeah, no, I
But-
think it shows in their production. if their staff isn't, treated like
Oh yeah,
slave
they're
labor.
good. They're trying to be good to their people. I've heard some stories, but overall, I think
Everybody's got stories.
it's that's a whole nother thing. I don't want to get into that. That's behind the camera.
On a positive note, guys.
Yeah, no, but so we are halfway through
Yep.
volume 3. We will pick it up next time. So that'll be it for today, guys. If you like what we're doing, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You can follow us on Twitter at InfoConfused, and you can find our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as here on YouTube. We are Informed the Confused. I'm Alan.
And I'm Bobby.
See you later.
Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.